Red Edition, welcome, happy day. Are you enjoying our new website? I hope so. We've had all kinds of letters and emails from different people and from many places around the world, actually. And thanks so much for your good comments and constructive criticism. We've had some of that as well. And hey, we'll listen to you. Canadians, I want to share something with you. When you go across the border into the U.S., the misconception is you can only take $10,000 with you, and that's it. If you're taking any more, in terms of having that in cash, you gotta lie, you gotta hide it. And recently 2 women found out the hard way. They hid money in their bras everywhere, and they had over $50,000, and they were captured. And there's no need for it. All you have to do is declare it. So many people think you can't take it. If you have $10,002, you think I'm gonna hide $2 or throw it out the window even. I don't want to be a criminal. You're not a criminal. It's your money. You just have to declare it. Officer, I have $50,000. They will say, why? It's my money. That's all. They've already got you checked before you get up to see them anyway. Your license number has been scanned. Your picture has gone through all the machines and everything. They know who you are. They know everything about you. So if in fact you stole the money, you're captured anyway, no matter what the amount is. Just giving you some experience there, because I'm old and wise and I know stuff in Winnipeg. Winnipeg, Canada, recently unelected people there, they have formed a committee and they said, hey guys, we're going to go out and be vigilantes. Effectively, it's an army of bounty hunters. Effect. If people park in spots that they shouldn't, we're going to take pictures of them, send the pictures to the police people, and we're going to get a fee for that. I don't know. Is that a good idea? I don't think so. Maybe people shouldn't park there, but maybe you should pay attention to your own business and your own world. That's why you have policemen. I don't know. When you report a crime for profit, is that a good thing? That's no longer enforceable anyway. From a legal perspective, I wouldn't think. Joe Fontano, he's a mayor in London, Ontario, and he's got quite a history. He fits in with the Canadian landscape with regard to politicians because they're all a bunch of scoundrels. Everybody's being captured. Not true. A lot of people are being captured, not everybody. There's lots of mayors and councils yet to go through, but you'll finally get maybe to the bottom of it, because you must understand every time. It's like speeding. Thievery is like speeding. Are all the speeders caught every day? Of course not. I mean, do you speed? I speed. We all speed. How often are you caught? Not that often when you look at it from that perspective, okay? Thievery is probably the same thing. And you got mayors that are being captured, and here's a guy that says, so what? I'm going to keep on being myself for more than 30 years through 18 elections. He has been successful. He's kept in public office from city council to federal parliament into the Liberal cabinet even, and he's been charged yet again over misuse of public funds. Maybe you'll have to be mayor from prison. I remember back in the 60s, there was a mayor in Edmonton, Alberta. He had been charged several times. He was in jail a couple of times, and he actually won charge for corruption, fraud, and laundering money, and so on. And he actually served as mayor while in jail at one point in his career. It's my memory, at least. And he did more for the city. Mayor Horlack was his name. He did actually more for the city than any other mayor, I also believe, but certainly he did a lot for himself. Toddlers kill more Americans than terrorists do every year with firearms. This is something for all you gun people, and I'm a gun person. You just have to pay attention. This is press so we don't need. I mean, it's kind of a silly headline, but the anti-gun group, they look for things to say. And it's always a tragic thing when you hear about a toddler who went into his or her father's drawer and pulled out a loaded gun and shot the neighbor's child, right? You gotta be safe. When I take my children or grandchildren out shooting, I always say to them, and they get tired of hearing it, it's been so many years, but there's 3 rules in shooting: safety, safety, safety. And so many people aren't paying attention to that, and I wish you would, because it reflects on all of us. And there you go. Cougars in Banff National Park. Sightings of cougars are high. People see them. People have been chased with cougars. One person was attacked by a cougar just recently, and you're not allowed to defend yourself in Canada. You can't carry a firearm. If you pass all the background checks and you have a firearm and you have a license in Canada, you're a stand-up citizen. There ain't nobody better. When was the last time you had a background check done on you? If you're a gun person, it's done every day, probably every hour through the different rigs that they have. And you should at least be able to go out and not only protect yourself, but be there if you're hiking to help other people. Canadian laws need to be changed. CSSA, that's Canadian Shooting Sports Association, they're working on that. They're great. They're the Canadian equivalent of the NRA. Actually, they're the NRA on steroids, because they're really out there. NRA is doing a fine job, but the job that CSSA is doing is beyond fine. They're doing a fantastic job. So if you are not a member of them, you should be. And if you are a member, phone a friend and get him to become a member. And if everybody does that, the membership will double overnight, and there's strength in numbers. The CSSA support them. Now, the CTF, lots of different initials, that would be the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, is urging Prime Minister Harper to sponsor a pension cancellation bill for crooked politicians. In other words, if you get caught stealing, you shouldn't get your pension. That should be a slam dunk. You don't even think things like that aren't covered. But that's the case. I mean, you can be a politician in Canada, probably in other countries also. You can steal from the citizenry, the people that put you there to represent them, and you get slapped in the wrist. If you get fired, you continue to get your pension. If you're suspended, anything happens to you, you continue to be paid in perpetuity. How about jail? That's got a nice ring to it. If you steal, you should go to jail. You go out and steal. See what happens to you. If you want to make sure nothing bad happens to you, get elected first. That'll make it better. Let me end the day with this. Hey, I wasn't planning on going for a run today, but those cops, they came out of nowhere. Y'all come back tomorrow, and we'll talk to you more about the right. See ya.